Most enthusiasts and automotive journalists would cringe at the thought of driving a mid-size family sedan like this Honda Accord. But the reality is, it's still the most popular passenger car in America today. The Camry and Accord combined sell almost 1 million vehicles a year. So certainly worth noting, and just about every car company has a vehicle in this segment. Now, the Accord, they basically have set the standard for over 30 years. This vehicle is in its 9th generation, been around since the 70s, and you know what? It just keeps getting better. What's unusual about the new Accord is that it's actually gotten shorter, but at the same time, interior volume has gotten larger and cargo space has gotten larger, so that's a great testament to Honda's engineers. Styling is also dramatically improved. You've got this nice shoulder line here, you've got the shorter overhangs. Basically, the car looks more modern, more up-to-date, and in my opinion is one of the better looking vehicles of sedan. But it's not just about styling with the Accord. You've got a brand new engine and a CVT. I don't think any 3 letters in the automotive industry make me cringe more than CVT. But I gotta tell you, after spending a week with this Accord, I actually think that they have figured out how to make CVTs manageable. Not to be outdone by Mazda's Sky Active technologies, Honda is introducing Earth Dreams technology. Must be a Japanese thing. All I know is this new 2.4 liter 4-cylinder engine is very efficient and very powerful. It's made it to the CVT, which we don't like CVTs, but we like the CVT in this Honda Accord. It's all about fuel efficiency, and this Accord gets 36 on the highway and 27 in the city. Shoppers of mid-size sedans are looking for rear legroom space, and thankfully the Accord has plenty of it, plenty of headroom too. By comparison, vehicles like the Chevy Malibu and Ford Fusion have been dinged because they just don't have enough room back there, and I think they're going to suffer for it. Now, the Accord comes in several trim levels. You have a base LX, followed by the Sport, and then the EX. The XL and Touring are the top of the line. Now, if you want to get a 4-cylinder, the bottom 3 are standard. In fact, they're the only engine you can get. When you move up to the EXL, the V6 is optional. You move up to the Touring, V6 is standard. The Accord's interior has been completely redesigned. You have an all-new instrument panel, center stack, gauges, and everything really works in my opinion. Starting with the gauges, you have an enlarged speedometer, but they made it look kind of like a high-tech Swiss Army watch or something. It looks good. The steering wheel is, in my opinion, very nice and compact, and the controls are great. What I also like is that every Accord has a standard 8-inch infotainment screen. That is amazing. No other car in this segment offers that as standard. Also standard is a rear backup camera. These are important safety features. Here's another one, lane watch. We're gonna give you a demonstration. This, in my opinion, is the #1 safety feature for 2013. Here's a demonstration of how lane watch works. When you put your turn signal to the right, camera comes up, and you can see what is in your blind spot. You actually have 3 colored lines, a red, orange, and then a yellow. Once they're beyond that yellow line, it's safe to go. As you can see, there's a big truck. And you can also manually operate it by pushing the end of the turn signal. There's a button, you just push the button, and the camera comes on. Great technology from Honda. So what we're really here to talk about is how the Accord drives and handles, and most importantly, how the all-new CVT works in the Accord. As mentioned, I'm not a CVT fan. By comparison, the Nissan Altima just doesn't do it for me. A lot of delays, a lot of high and whining. All CVTs basically work the same, but what separates the Accord from the Altima and some of the other CVTs, in my opinion, is the algorithm they use for mimicking the shifts. Now, I mentioned the torque on the Accord, 181 pound-feet of torque, but you get that at a relatively low 3,600 RPMs, and that's important to note. Some of the competitors get it at a much higher RPM, which means you really got to push the engine just to achieve that torque. But it's nice to get that peak torque at low RPMs. Bottom line on the Accord is that it's one of the safest bets you can get in America today. This vehicle behind me is around $26,000. It has just about every option you need, with the exception of maybe navigation. And it just drives great. It's a Honda Accord, great resale value, very reliable, very dependable. It's an easy recommendation to make.